Whenever I travel, I'm wearing these amazing RSVLTS shirts, and I'd like to bring a little bit of that experience to you. Adventures in Fandom, which is exactly what I'm entitling this video. Friends, if you're liking what we're doing at Wearable Fandom, please like and subscribe, hit that little bell, you know the story. It helps us show up for other folks who are looking for the same type of content, so we appreciate all your support. A little while ago, I got to visit the Kua Loa Ranch in Hawaii on the island of Oahu. It's been the site of so many film and television shows that have been shot there, some amazing stuff. It was fantastic, and I had the opportunity not only to tour the facilities, but also to take a ride-along tour to see some of the amazing sights, and I'm happy to bring those to you. And now, let's get on with the tour.
Kua Loa Ranch is a 4,000-acre cattle ranch on the windward side of the Hawaiian island of Oahu. In the second half of the 1800s, Dr. Garrett Judd was the first person to translate medical text and journals into the native Hawaiian language. A grateful King Kamehameha III allowed him to purchase acreage in this sacred valley as a thanks for his efforts. By 1880, Dr. Judd bought a total of 4,000 acres. These exhibits outline the history of the ranch and its place in the Hawaiian culture. Everywhere you look, there's some interesting reminder of the famous films and television shows that were shot on the ranch. There are plenty of dinosaurs, and even this clever girl. Here I'm wearing the Clever Girl shirt right next to the Clever Girl exhibit right here on the island. When filming concludes on the ranch, the owners reserve the right to keep the locations intact. So the sites and sets are usually the ones that were actually used in filming. This creates a bunch of awesome photographic places, and hey, don't feed the dinos human food. There are many tour options that you can take at the ranch. Today, we're going on a 2-hour ATV expedition around the property. The ranch also offers more traditional jungle expedition tours in a truck, as well as biking and horseback tours for those who are so inclined. Each tour visits different locations and views, so you can try different things every time that you visit. The ATV tour provides two options. First is the self-driven approach, where one of your party drives the ATV during the 2-hour tour. Or you can have the ride-along, where a tour guide drives the ATV. In my book, the self-driven would be the most fun, but even booking 3 full weeks ahead of time, there were no self-driven slots for us. If that looks fun to you, make your plans extra early. The ride-along version of the tour has some advantages though. The tour gets pretty dusty and wet in some places, and at least you're up front and it's not in your face. The scenery of the tour is magnificent. Most people come for the famous film sets, but it's impossible not to notice the incredible beauty of this place. This valley is nicknamed Jurassic Valley and features in many famous shots of the Jurassic Park films, including this very famous scene. That first scene from the original Jurassic Park made the Kua Loa Ranch a very popular tourist destination. Around every bend in the road is another beautiful sight. It just keeps coming. Even while I was recording this video, I just kept getting lost staring out into the dense tropical greenery and the beautiful elevation. This is truly a magnificent place, and it makes sense why this was such a sacred place for the Hawaiian people. While it was film and television that brought us here, the natural beauty of this place makes it a must-visit. I will make every effort to come back here each time I am able to visit Oahu. Alright, now let's check out the movie shooting locations. First up is this helicopter crash from the 2017 movie Kong Skull Island. You may remember a famous scene at the beginning where the fleet of helicopters decides it's going to take on this giant monkey. Well, it doesn't go so well for all of them, and of course many of the helicopters are destroyed, This particular helicopter crashed and had survivors. In the end, Kong was very happy with himself. This particular stop we were not able to get out. It's a drive-by, but you can see there's not a lot to interact with. I guess you could get a picture in front of it. Moving on to the next set, another set from Skull Island. This particular scene of the King Kong movie actually has a lot of these bones remaining all over. Setting up a 50 cal on a skull of a Triceratops is pretty freaking cool. Well, you can see all of these bones are kind of laid out here. People are amazing at sliding in films, aren't they? And of course, the amazing blazing skull. That's super, super cool. You can see folks who are walking around here. As I mentioned before, different tours provide different degrees and different levels of access, so make sure you look into that when you're choosing which of the tours you want to go on. If being up close and personal and taking those photos is important to you, make sure you get on the right tour. Moving on to the remaining Jurassic Park coverage, this is the Gyrosphere ride launch from Jurassic World, where they got in those cool little balls that rolled around. And this is a permanent spot here. There is a different tour that will allow you to go up and walk and take some photos up there. The next stop was one we could get out and photograph. This is the exterior of the Baryonyx lab. This set is made of styrofoam, plywood, and metal frame, and whoa, there's still people living here. The tour guides are amazing and super friendly. They'll do all kinds of things like helping you get cool shots like this one, which is a very memorable one for me. Moving on to one of the more famous sets on this particular tour. Now, this was not one where we could get out, but there are different tours where you can. This, my friends, is the Indominus Rex paddock. And this one featured several times in the movie when you see the original helicopter flying in. That helicopter actually landed right outside that set and let the actors out. And of course, there's a famous scene with Chris Pratt managing to squeeze through. At least he got through, and so did the Indominus Rex. What a cool set. It looks really cool from a distance. If being up close and personal is super important to you, then make sure you get on the tour that'll let you walk around this area and take photos. I mentioned before that the tour guides were a lot of fun, and they really helped make the experience so much more interesting. One of the things that they like to do at the end is, as we're rushing towards the conclusion of the tour, showing us around where the natural water sources are in the ranch. And you can see here on the right-hand side, there's a little ditch there with some natural flowing water, which helps keep everything so beautiful and green. But they also like to have a little bit of fun and sort of gun it through these little puddles. So you will get a little bit wet on this tour, and it's really important to be ready for that. This is the reason why you have your helmet, you have your gaiter, and of course, make sure you put that thing up, because these trails get really dusty, and if you're on the self-driving side, it's going to throw a lot of dirt and dust up, so you'll want to be wearing the eye protection and make sure that you have the mask on so none of this mud or junk gets up into your face. Look at this. I didn't even have a gimbal when I was shooting this. I don't know how I got this level of stabilization. Our tour eventually came to an end. There are a lot of other great sites around the island that are sacred or religious, or just nice references for you to take some great photos and shots. I try to keep a little bit of the mystery, but here's one part of the mystery that you probably could anticipate: a fantastic gift shop. And whenever there's a gift shop, especially when it has named items, I always have to see if my name is there. There I am, right between Dwayne and Dwayne.
Wow, wasn't that amazing? Hope you enjoyed our coverage of the Kua Loa Ranch, and I certainly hope you get the chance to visit one day. Highly recommended if you happen to be in Hawaii and you get the opportunity. There are so many fun things to do. You can spend the entire day there. This was our experiment for Adventures in Fandom. What do you guys think? Is this a format we should continue? Please drop a comment down below the video down there. And while you're at it, hit that like and subscribe button so that we have the opportunity to let you know when we have brand new content. Until next time, remember, always be yourself. So long.